Hi guys, Mullahs here. Today's video, I'm just wondering why African countries don't buy Iranian oil. Iran was in the news towards the end of last year over renewed US sanctions. When the US pulled out of the Iran agreement, they slapped Iran with a lot of sanctions, and it was making the news. And apart from that, one noticeable thing was that a lot of countries still wanted to buy Iranian oil even with the threat of US sanctions. The reason they were giving was that the sanctions were US sanctions and not UN sanctions. So quite a number of big countries say that they will still be trading with Iran. And as of right now, the big countries that are still trading with Iran and that got some exemptions to trade with Iran: Iraq, Turkey, India, China, South Korea, Japan. A country that didn't get any permission and is also under US sanctions and trading with Iran is Russia. So as you can see, these are some of the biggest economies on earth. They are still trading with Iran, but not that many African countries seem to be, in fact, no African countries seem to be major trading partners of Iran. But big economies are. So Iran has oil. African countries they grow enough foods and also mine a lot of metals. It makes a lot of sense to actually trade with Iran, especially that the countries could pay for their oil in local currency, or they could barter some local produce and manufacturing items in exchange for oil. This would mean that they wouldn't be putting so much strain on their foreign reserves or foreign exchange holdings. They would actually save really big time by just buying Iranian oil. So I'm from Zambia, the country on the map, and our southern neighbor Zimbabwe has been in the news a lot over sanctions, lack of foreign exchange, the bond notes, and recently the massively increased fuel prices. Begs the question, why doesn't Zimbabwe or even Zambia buy Iranian oil? Especially countries like the two, Zambia and Zimbabwe, who grow enough grain, produce enough meat. Zimbabwe mines enough gold, platinum, diamonds. They could buy from small-scale local miners and exchange that for Iranian oil and gas, save on their foreign exchange, stabilize their fuel prices. The economy of Iran is about $440 billion. That was a 2017 GDP, compared to Zimbabwe's GDP of $18 billion. You see that Iran is almost 4 times bigger than Zimbabwe, with a population of 81 million, whereas Zimbabwe's population is only 16 million. Iran has a GDP $440 billion as of 2017, whereas Zambia had a GDP of 26 billion as of 2017. And now if you compare the maps, you see that Iran is 2.5 times bigger than Zambia, and the population is much more bigger than that of Zambia. So this really does present a huge, almost untapped market for both the two countries, as well as many other African countries. Iran is simply much bigger than many African countries, both in terms of size and economy. So it really would make so much sense. Buy Iranian oil, exchange it for local currency, local produce, and with an economy of 440 billion, that's huge market that we are letting evade us, simply because we want to continue paying for our oil with US dollars that we don't have. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is it viable for African countries to buy Iranian oil and save on forex and the likes, or should we just maintain the status quo? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and remember to leave that comment. Bye.